I am Marie Cousin, your sergeant at arms on Zoom Public Relations Master of the meeting. What is our mission? We provide a supportive and positive learning experience in which members are empowered to develop communication and leadership skills, resulting in greater self-confidence and personal growth. Leadership Speak is the premier club for experienced Toastmasters to become better self-directed leaders. We are an advanced club focused primarily in leadership development in everything we do. Our timer has the virtual hand raised, so we all can immediately see who is keeping the time. I shall also be spotlighting the timer. Today is Catherine Baptiste, so we both French too. Our Toastmaster who will lead our meeting is Brahm. He has been coaching and training since 1993. He is a certified NLP Master Coach. He is a Master Coach in the personal mastery and leadership space, and consultant to large organizations as well as training sessions virtually currently all over the world. He was recognized as Coach of the Year by District IT6 Toastmasters in 2020 during the pandemic. His key skills are connecting, collaborating, and creating high-performing teams and communities. Success lies in the ability to bring people together to create large projects successfully. His strengths are creativity, innovation, and pioneer that enables him to disrupt the status quo and create out-of-the-box new solutions. Call him a circuit breaker, if you may. Let's welcome circuit breaker, or our president and Toastmaster of the day, Brahm. Brahm, the stage is yours.
Thank you, Madam Zoom Master. Fellow Toastmasters, welcome guests. Welcome to Leadership Speak. Today's theme, right here, the art of collaboration. Before I go further, can I ask the Zoom Master and the co-host to make sure that everybody's muted if they are not speaking? And I would ask all the guests and members to mute themselves when you are not speaking. Thank you. Now, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to one of the top clubs globally. Why do I say that? I'm saying that because we stand at number 14 globally in terms of education awards. But if you look at the dashboard and on the DCP dashboard and on distinguished status dashboard, then we are at number 3 globally. You heard that right. And why is that? Because of our membership growth and our education growth, we are at that level. Now, why do I say that? Because the theme is the art of collaboration. And it is only in a highly collaborative team that you can achieve something like that. Legends are born in high-performing teams. High-performing teams create legendary leaders. It's all about collaboration. It's all about connecting with each other. For those of you who are soccer fans, and I'm not one of those, I'm not in sports at all, and I don't follow sports, but last year, December the 17th, I went with a dozen friends to a sports bar to watch the World Final Soccer Cup match between Argentina and France. And we also a legend. 2 legends play against each other. Mbappe for France and Messi for Argentina. And Messi for Argentina is a legend. And Argentina is a legendary club. And Argentina has always been almost at the top every year, every time they play the World Finals. And here's what they say about Messi. Team collaboration is an essential aspect of achieving any endeavor, including sports. And Lionel Messi There you go. See, I'm there. Can you see me with him, right behind him? Lionel Messi is one of the greatest soccer players of all time and has demonstrated remarkable collaboration through his career. Despite his exceptional individual talent, he is very talented, but despite his exceptional individual talent, Messi understands the importance of working together with his teammates to achieve collective goals on the field. His ability to create scoring opportunities for his teammates and to make the entire team play to the best of their ability and then some is a testament to his collaborative mindset. Messi's success is a result of not only his individual brilliance, but his ability to foster teamwork and cooperation amongst his team members. Ladies and gentlemen, that is what collaboration does. And this is what we emphasize at Leadership Speak, the art of collaboration, how to collaborate, how to come together and be a high-performing team. And that's why this is an advanced club. It's an advanced club where we push members to connect with each other, to collaborate with each other, and that can only happen outside the meeting. Currently, in this meeting, there's very little leadership being done because we're all playing roles. It's all role-playing. Whenever people are playing roles, it is primarily managerial in nature. So it could be a great meeting, but it's mostly managerial. And now, are managers good leaders? Of course they are good leaders. You know, I'm not one of those that says, you know, don't be a manager, don't be a boss, you know, be a leader. You know, they all have their places actually. And collaboration is present in this meeting as well. So ladies and gentlemen, before, you know, we go into the meeting, I have a few people that are helping me make sure that this meeting unfolds well. I will call on Baron Ochola to raise the toast. And he's going to be doing two roles today because we had a last minute dropout. He accepted this role just a few hours ago. Not the raising of the toast, but of the speaker as well. He's a speaker today. So he'll raise the toast now and then come back as a speaker later on. Baron Ochola, please. If you can spotlight Baron.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster of the Day, Brahm Memone. Today, I would like to raise a toast, being one of the unique traditions of leadership speak. The ritual of raising toasts has always been done throughout history as a way of honoring and showing goodwill. And this might go to honor a person or to honor a theme like we are doing today. And today we shall be honoring the theme of the day, which is the art of collaboration. Now, collaboration is quite a unique thing. Collaboration means we come together, we work together, and we exchange value with each other, which means that together we shall accomplish more in comparison to if we had worked as individuals. Collaboration, like Toastmaster Brahm has said, is a team sport. It involves bringing everybody on board. It involves looking to the side and saying, hey, why is she not participating? Why are they left out? And then you bring them into the mix. Now, the thing about collaboration is it is a dance. It involves more than one party. It involves being patient. It involves being mindful. It involves understanding each other. And like the African saying goes, if you want to achieve more, rather, if you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go with others. Now, I will attribute that to the theme that we have in District 114, that is acronymed as BEST. Now, BEST, the BE stands for better. The S stands for stronger, and the T stands for together. And that is how we embellish team collaboration. Toastmasters and guests, I would like to invite you to raise your glasses wherever you are. I would just like to see a couple of glasses on the screen. So wherever you are, raise your glasses. Yes, I see you. Mariana, I see all of you. So we are going to cheer up to collaboration. So you just take one sip to it, and then that is the collaboration. May we always realize that together, everyone achieves more. Back to you, to Toastmaster of the day.
To collaboration.
To collaboration.
Thank you, Baron, for speaking to the theme and including the theme into your toast. And what I got is the African quote, if you want to go fast, go alone. But if you want to go far, go with others, which means collaboration. Collaboration will take you further than anything else can possibly do. And that's why we emphasize collaboration at our club. And that's when you become self-directed, when you're collaborating. It's a trick, right? My next person who's going to be assisting me today is on my team, on my very close inner circle team is Angela Brown, and she's going to be introducing the word of the day as the grammarian. Angela Brown.
Good evening, good afternoon, good morning, fellow Toastmasters and distinguished guests. I am Angela Brown, your grammarian for today. As a grammarian, I will note the incorrect usage of grammar and possible correct methods, and will also note good examples of powerful words and phrases used during the meeting. I would present my report when called upon to do so. The word of the day is united. United means made into or caused to act as a single entity. As an example, formed a united front. Formed a product productive by the uniting of things or person, a united effort. Agreed or in harmony. Thank you. Back to you, the Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you very much. I'm glad that you chose a word that is consistent with the theme, collaboration, of course, and united, because united, we stand together and walk far when we are united and working together with others. Thank you very much. And I would hope, and I request everyone to use that word every time you come on and speak at this meeting. Now, my next inner circle member who's going to help us today is our timer, all the way from France, Corinne Baptiste.
Thank you, Brahm. Dear members, fellow Toastmaster, and welcome guest. During this session, I will be your timer. Please keep in mind and keep an eye in the time. This role consists of monitoring all the section, especially the speakers and the evaluators. I will display my different signal. We have 5 speakers and 2 icebreakers. I will show the green card at 5 minutes, and for the icebreaker 4 minutes. The yellow card at 5 minutes, and for the icebreaker at 4 minutes, and the red card at 7 minutes for the traditional speech, and for the icebreaker 6 minutes. All speakers are 30 seconds to finalize their speech, and I will display the red card. Regarding the evaluator, we have 5 evaluators who have between 2 and 3 minutes. I will display the green card at 2 minutes, the yellow card at 2 minutes 30 seconds, and the red card for 3 minutes. And all evaluators are 30 seconds to finalize act. Between each part of speech and evaluation, I will give you my report through the chat box. Pay attention. Before you start your speech or your evaluation, please ping me with the hand raise reaction in order to visualize me. Thank you for your listening. Back to you, Mr. Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you very much, Karine. Thank you very much. This is her very first time. Are you doing this role for the first time in this club?
Yes.
Wonderful. Brand new member and just started this month.
Thank you.
Thank you. Madam Zoom Master, if you can spotlight the right person. Thank you. And I would ask the co-host to help and the Paramjit to help the Zoom Master so that you are ready with the next person to spotlight. Thank you very much. For the benefit of our guests and new members, we always have an education session in Leadership Speak, and the education session is actually a speech from Pathways. It could be a 5 to 7 minute speech in Pathways, but we expand it to 20 minutes, and it is consistent with the theme of the meeting. Paramjit Singh is going to be the education speaker today, and his evaluator is going to be Tony Bratschitschl. Tony, what are the project objectives for Paramjit?
Mr. Toastmaster of the Day, fellow Toastmasters and guests. Paramjit Singh's leadership education speech, titled Collaborative Leadership, is from the Pathways Leadership Development Level 1, Project 3, Introduction to Vocal Variety and Body Language. Paramjit will present a speech on any topic, and he'll use vocal variety, body language, and gestures, or both. Back to you, Toastmaster of the Day.
Thank you very much, Mr. Evaluator. If the Zoom masters can please get their act correct, that'll be great today. Thank you. I'll wait until I'm spotlighted. Paramjit and Dan, can you help Marie here with the spotlighting, please? Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, it gives me great pleasure to introduce to you Paramjit Singh with his speech from Leadership Development, Level 1, speech number 3, Evaluation Feedback, second speech. It is all on the agenda. Paramjit believes that any leadership without considering all the involved members as a team should consider everyone as a team and as humans, not as machines. And when you do that, you can have a phenomenal result in collaborative leadership, because each member is then respected with their contribution, and it gives you far better, much more better results than before. So he says, let's look at human beings as human beings, not as machines or as resources, but as capital. He has been following the same in his own professional work, in his profession where he is, and he has been able to achieve outstanding results. Ladies and gentlemen, Paramjit Singh, collaborative leadership, Paramjit Singh. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the Day. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are, or my dear Toastmasters. Just now, we heard an introductory speech by our President and Toastmaster of the Day, Mr. Brahm. He talked about cooperation, teamwork, as well as collaboration. I was always wondering, what is the difference between a teamwork or a collaboration? I'm not able to find a difference unless I dig deep into it. So what is your opinion? Can somebody share what is the difference between, or are the same between a teamwork and a collaboration? Please unmute and share your views.
Collaboration is focused to the vision of teamwork, just might be working together for the purpose of working together.
For my understanding,
Thank you, Mr. Tommy. In reality, we have, anybody want to share?
so for me, collaboration is a cross-functional team, and team is within your circle. So that's the difference between collaborations between a cross-function.
Oh, thank you very much for sharing your views about the collaboration and the teamwork. Now, let me clarify that collaboration and teamwork are two words which are used very often interchangeably, especially in the workplace. And they have become so overused that they have blended into one and they have become axioms. But contrary to the popular belief, they are really different. Okay. See, the collaboration is basically a group of individuals who are working together using their own skills and collaborating with one another to find a solution to a problem or an end result or a goal. The focus is on collaboration using everybody's skills. However, in the teamwork is also a group of individuals, but they are given individual responsibilities. They have their own area of working. When they join together, it becomes a team. And the idea is to get the ultimate goal. Like, as just now Mr. Brahm mentioned about the football or soccer team, everybody is given different responsibilities: a forward, a front foot, a defender, a goalkeeper. But when they join together as a team, it becomes a proper teamwork, and which helps us to win the matches as well as win the cups. So this is how they have it. The major difference between them is the ownership. The ownership, in case of teamwork, it is ownership on one-to-one. In case of collaboration, it is totally opposite. It can be on the different people together as a team or as an organization as a whole also. So let us understand what is collaborative leadership. According to Harvard Business Review, it is the capacity to engage people and groups outside one's formal control and inspire them to work towards common goals. Despite differences in convictions, cultural values, and operating norms. Putting it in another way, it is a method of managing people across functional and organizational boundaries. Rather than focusing on just getting the results, managers work alongside with their employees in collaboration with other teams, departments, and accomplish a common goal. Information is shared, everybody's perspective is considered, and everybody takes responsibility for the whole goal. So to understand more about collaborative leadership, let me share with you a small clip. Just give me one here. let's move further and understand what are the different aspects of a leadership using this variable. And so this clip demonstrates very clearly that individuals cannot achieve everything by their own efforts. They need some help. Similarly, in collaborative leadership, leaders understand they cannot achieve success alone. They have to use and really appreciate the efforts of other people and make it as a team so that the end results can be achieved and the common goals which can be achieved. Of course, mutual benefits. The individual in the story, if you find, by helping each other, they could eat the food. Likewise, collaborative leaders understand that adopting cooperation and empowering others benefit everyone. By supporting and lifting others will certainly create an environment of cooperation where everyone can flourish and achieve the success. Sharing resources. They were only having spoons, but there was 2 long spoons. But they used the same resource to help and support one another. And they could eat the food. So in this story, they realize the power of sharing and collaboration. And collaborative leaders actively promote sharing knowledge, skills, resources among team members, creating an environment of trust, cooperation, and innovation. What another wonderful thing we learn from the clip is the synergy. The clip illustrates how collaboration can lead to a combined effort that is greater than the sum of its own nodes. The individual's joint action enables them to achieve what they couldn't accomplish individually. Similarly, collaborative leaders create synergy among team members, encouraging diverse perspectives and facilitating collective problem solving to generate innovative solutions. Of course, the trust and empathy. The clip highlights the need for trust and empathy between individuals. They must trust that the other person will reciprocate to best of their interest. Collaborative leaders cultivate trust among team members by establishing open communication, showing empathy, and valuing everyone's contribution. Of course, whenever we have a collaborative leadership and collaborative arrangements and we are collaborating with one another, we certainly get some of the benefits. So let me share a few of the benefits for your personnel so that you can also use collaborative leadership in your area of working. The first one is increased engagement. We understand that any business where the people are engaged fully is certainly going to flourish. And those who are engaged with the work can produce more better results. And the great news is that you don't require to spend much money, extra money to get engagement. The only thing is to create a collaborative arrangement where everybody feels satisfied and willing to work together. It also increases the transparency. It will also increase the transparency. Collaboration in leadership leads to increased transparency among employees who view their managers and executive as a greater part of themselves only. And wherever there is a transparency, certainly it helps a lot. I will share one of my experience. When I joined my organization, there was no transparency among the people. I had 4 assistant managers and one of my senior executive. He will share different things and give different goals to different people to be accomplished at the same time. There was no transparency at all. Nobody was knowing what others are doing. But of course, there we had a natural general resource. Everybody was using the same resources to produce the thing. When I joined, I found that they are really fighting with one another, sometimes even competing to the level that was going away, taking away all the working ethics. So I started to work with them, sharing everything, and fixed a daily meeting from 10 to 11 daily with all the managers. And it is now around 10 years. In my 10 years, I might have missed only 1 or 2 meetings when I was in the office and I couldn't attend. And the results are phenomenal. Everybody knows now that we are working on something. There's a common goal and we are transparent to one another. Certainly it improves the communication. Every business is looking for a communication way so that they can communicate with outside world and inside world both with a very effective way. And when there's a collaborative leadership, certainly encourages open dialogue between the team so that people can come back to them, talk about the different problems, and talk about the best thing we are doing together. So it certainly increases the good communication among the people. Certainly when you are more engaged, your job satisfaction level goes up. Everybody, person feel, self-satisfaction that I am doing something as a team. My ideas are fulfilled. My ideas are being taken by the management. And certainly the best result you get is people doesn't want to leave that organization. And the retention level becomes very high. So you can have more retention, a longer retention by the people who work with. Of course, increase innovation. When diverse people with different background work together, certainly the innovation and the creativity becomes a part of a daily routine. In my design office, which I am heading on, when I joined, people are not even wanted to share even small things, not even the ideas. So they think that the idea will be taken by somebody else. But now, as a collaborative arrangements in my organization, in my design and development office, the things have moved in such a way that everybody is helping other, and we have created one of the best products in last 7 years, which are available in the market. Particularly, I'm a plastic person, so these products are really great. We could innovate because everybody participated and helped other one to use their own minds and innovations. Of course, it increased the efficiency by bringing employees together and encouraging them to share their ideas and insights. Collaborative leadership can help teams develop innovative solutions that can increase overall organizational efficiency. As a result, projects are completed efficiently to a greater accuracy and without using overtime. So now, as a leader, how to build a culture of collaborative leadership? First of all, start by modeling. Do what you expect from others. Follow the same expectation you have for the rest of your team to help them. Make sure you are open to them and they can come to you and share their views. Second, establishing a common objective. As I just shared, there was not a common objective in my organization. Everybody was working with his own objective. So the main objective or the goal of the team or the organization should be shared with everyone from top managers to the workers on the shop floor, so that everybody is working towards a common objective, not using and or not just finishing their own objective. Promote open communication. This is the key to a collaboration. Unless you are having an open communication where people can come, discuss with you without fear, and the ideas they can share with you. I remember I worked in a company in India, United Nations Development Program Design and Development Center. One of the new boss joined, general manager, and the old general manager was, confined in a room. So what he did, he removed all the curtains, opened the door, everybody can come and talk to him. And, he was open to listening to them and even, helping them to achieve whatever they wanted. What happened was, you may not believe what the production and our overall turnover increased by 300%. It was more than 300% what we approach. So be approachable if you want to be a leader who can be, who is a good communicator. Create a trustful environment. Take active steps to establish trust with your employees through open communication and by keeping your promises. Be honest in your dealings. Team members need to feel that they are dealing with an honest person and also a self-reliant too. Once you create such an environment, you will improve your relationship and manage your workload and mentor your team members. Whatever you have learned, whatever you have gained, knowledge, your skills, certainly sharing with them will help you to achieve your goals, as well as help them to understand the skills which they can use in their daily field. Most of the time when I find something very good on a YouTube or in any blog about design and development, I thought I may forget. What I do, I always share with my team members. I just send them. Just don't keep that knowledge with mine. And sometimes they have come up with the latest. So you send this thing. Now this can be used in this design. This that really helped them to make very innovative design also. So after learning that, let us understand: are you a collaborative leader? So you are a collaborative leader if already you motivate your employees to do their best, work through positive environment rather than fear and power plays. Delegate appropriate tasks to team members. Encourage them to contribute to their full ability. Communicate clearly, especially when seeking input or feedback. And share necessary information that company metrics and goals with your employees. So, are you a collaborative leader? If no, be one to reap the benefits of collaborative leadership. Over to you, Toastmaster of the day. Thank you.
Thank you, Paramjit. Waiting to be spotlighted. Thank you.
I do that.
Thank you. Thank you, Paramjit, for a wonderful speech. I learned a lot about collaboration today from your speech. I learned the power of sharing, the transparency, all the different aspects of what makes a collaborative person, a leader into a collaborative leader, as well as, of course, you asked appropriate questions at the end: delegation, motivation, communication, sharing, managing conflicts as well. Thank you so much for the wonderful speech today. Our next speaker will move from the education session to the main part of our agenda, and that is the speakers. Our first speaker is all the way from Dubai, Banasree Banerjee. And her evaluator today is Sudarshan Seshadri, also all the way from Dubai.
Thank you very much. I do not see our speaker on the screen. I'm assuming.
You will not see her. It's a request. You will see her until she starts speaking.
Okay, great. Fellow Toastmasters and guests, the specific objectives of this particular speech, which comes to us from the path motivational strategies. It is a level 1 project 2 speech. In this, the speaker is encouraged to choose a topic of his or her own choice, create a 5 to 7 minute speech, receive feedback, incorporate the feedback into this particular speech, and repeat the speech once more, thereby demonstrating that the speaker has absorbed the feedback and implemented the same. The speech, as I've already said, will run for 5 to 7 minutes. I would like to wish all the very best to our speaker, and back to you, Mr. Toastmaster.
Thank you, Sudarshan. Awesome. Our next speaker has a background in banking for around 15 years and a passion for helping families with children with special needs. Banasree has embarked on a journey to build a better future for children of special needs through her platform called I Care For You. Recognizing the power of collaboration, she has connected with like-minded individuals, sharing resources and information, organizing events, advocating the rights and needs of these families. Collaboration has become an essential tool in our achieving goals and making a positive impact in the lives of 100 parents and children who have special needs. Amazing. Ladies and gentlemen, Banasree Banerjee, the list, Banasree Banerjee.
How many of you got a chance to get soaked right now in the rain? None of you, right? You're all sitting in front of the screen. I enjoyed it. I know most of you are either at work or in front of the screen or chasing chores. Basically, ticking off the boxes on your to-do list. And I'm sure you understand that out of passion from within or pressure from outside, when you're compelled to work for hours, you'd realize that there would be peaks and valleys as a natural side effect on your health. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and dear guest. What happens when those peaks disappear and the valleys stays just not for a day or two, but for weeks, for months? As a manager of one of the mortgage firms in India, I used to work notoriously for unearthly hours. And what a workload. I really enjoyed because I used to push myself to be the best during my appraisals. And my boss was a beautiful, nice lady. At least I felt it was worth working for a multiplier of a boss than slogging for a diminisher during my prior projects. I hated those bosses. Actually, we both generated a lot of business as a team. We got recognized across the continents. And my bin used to be all filled up with lists, printouts, flyers, emails every day. Roughly 3 years into this lifestyle, I had a massive physical breakdown. There were pins and pains all over my back, and coupled with frustration, agitation from within, that I was missing the deadlines, I was just not able to accept my life. I observed that there was a steady decline in my health as well. Leaving the infertility section, I visited almost all the departments of the hospital. And my to-do list from that time changed from the sticky notes to calendars. Doctor's appointment at 8, call and fix for, the USG MRI at 4. This used to be my to-do list. And all over, sentences, didn't I tell you to take care of your health? They're overflowing in the house. I started feeling weak. My legs couldn't bear my weight. I was almost like a drunken giant walking on the limbs of a mosquito. Yes. 26th of May 2018, my medical reports revealed evidences of cystic growths on the right side of my pelvic joint, which could lead to necrosis of the bones. And further tests followed. I got inside a medication, a list of tests, medicines, therapies, physiotherapies, but my inner self just told me, take a break for a few months from work, from all these chores. That event really shook me. And I really thought hard about the prospect of survival, death, children's future. What happens if husband replaces me with a new person, invigorating one? Oh, no. I adopted a to-do list again. And in that list, there were 6 to 7 hours of sleep, yoga, small moments with the children. And approximately 4 months later, when I felt I was better, and I went back to the same room where my appointment letter was given, I met a different kind of a boss. I thought work would have stopped for me and waited for me to return. But she had moved on with a more workaholic employee. I went to negotiate for a work from home, whereas I got a different paper in my hand. While leaving the room, wiping the tears from the corner of my eyes when I was just going to meet my friends, colleagues, and bid them a goodbye, I got a nice comment from one of them. She said, one of my friends, colleagues said, "What have you done to yourself? You're looking fabulous." I just looked at her. I smiled, winked, and I moved on. Today, I realized you have read Stephen Covey's quadrant of time management. The urgent ones were so urgent for me. Today, they are not even there in my list. Whereas the important ones, I realized should have been my urgent list. I started listening to music. I started listening to my body, myself, my life around me. I started living in the moment. And today, when I have joined my new company, I don't take an opportunity. I don't leave an opportunity to just go get soaked in the rain, come back, maybe have a cup of brewing hot chocolate, listen to Zubin Mehta soul-soothing music. And now I know I have the courage to go through all these emails, write a script, or listen to discussions with the managers. I have changed my list. I have learned how to make my list. Have you? Over to you.
Thank you very much. Loved the expressions in your speech. Drunken giant on legs of mosquito. Well said. And I did get that it is very key for leaders to manage their time well and also take time for self-care. Like working 24/7 is bad for your health. Have enough sleep, enough time to reflect, enough time for music, enough time for social self-care, and then, of course, enough time for work, and have a proper list for that. Thank you so much, Banasree. That is what a self-directed leader is. to be having time for all those different things in your life. The next speaker is Sandra Valks. And Sandra Valks is like almost 200 miles from where I am. So, of course, in Ontario. Amazing. And her evaluator today is going to be Daniel Omondi Odero. Daniel.
Huh?
Point of order. Sorry,
Yeah, me too. I thought Ram Lakhanpal was evaluating Sandra.
Yes, yes.
I was meant to invite Mrinal.
I think I may have made a mistake because I think the next speaker is not Sandra, but Mrinal Kanti Ghosh.
That's it. Yes.
Thank you
that's
so
correct.
much. Thank you so much. I need to wake up. You know, I'm trying to make my own list here, Banasree, and I'm trying to follow that list.
You had a
Unfortunately,
cup of
that's the
coffee?
lesson is when you have a list, do make sure you follow that list that you have, right? Thank you so much. So now I have my list in order, and I'm going to call Mrinal over and make sure that his evaluator, who is, of course, going to be Daniel Omondi Odero, to come over and tell us what he's up to. Thank you, Daniel. Now my list is good.
Thank you, the Toastmaster of the day, fellow Toastmasters, and welcome guests. This morning, evening, afternoon, we are privileged to have the speaker, Mrinal Kanti. Mrinal Kanti is the market access manager at GlaxoSmithKline Beecham Pharmaceuticals. He is pursuing his icebreaker, a new path in visionary communication. He's doing his icebreaker. The purpose of the project, the icebreaker, is for the member to introduce himself to the club. He's a new member to introduce himself to the club. He has 4 to 6 minutes to do this. The title of his speech is Who Am I? Back to you, Mr. Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you, Daniel. Now, by no means is Mrinal new to the club. He's been a member since the last year, August. He's just doing another path, and he's done many speeches already, so we know him well, except perhaps the newer members and the guests here. With regards to collaboration, this is what he tells me. He truly knows the value of collaboration, because with collaboration, what you're doing is you're honoring the team. And when you honor the team, success takes care of itself naturally. Help me welcome Mrinal Kanti Ghosh. Who am I? Who am I? Mrinal Kanti Ghosh. What to you?
Thank you, team. You all are gathered here. Do you know what is surprise is waiting for you? Just received a mail from Emma. We are now globally #1 team, India. I must congratulate to all of you. Please clap for yourself, and you should be proud of yourself, because whatever you are today, because this is player lots of efforts for the last 2 years. Last year, I still remember in the board meeting, we struggled a lot. We are failure. Our launching of last year project was totally devastating. We are totally failure. But this year, we come back strong and positive note. And I must congratulate to all the talented team members across all cross-functional team, come united and deliver the numbers. And do you know our growth rate for this year? 90% growth rate, which is the highest among global.
Wow.
You know, you may be all surprised what I'm telling right now. This is me, Mrinal, in the year 2028. I'm thinking of the vision of down the line of 5 years. Normally, I speak a speech, we are discussing about our past, present. But right now, I just want to discuss about my future, what I'm trying to learn. I know here, all the leaders are already there who support me to fulfill my desire as a dream, as an MD, managing director of the company. So my journey started in the year almost after completion of MBA in the year 2007. I thought that I'm doing MBA. I should have a very good office, good package, good assistant, But trust me, friends, real life is totally different from the imaginary world. We need to struggle a lot. Raise your hand. Who is not failure in life? Yes, I always fall down, but whenever I try to fall down, I try to come back with a strong positive note. I failed many times. I still remember initial days of my job. I just walk almost 10 kilometers per day with 8 kg of bag and temperature of more than 40 degrees centigrade. After just 2 months of work, I got sick. I was totally break-driven for almost a month. I was totally demotivated. And I thought, what I'm doing with my life? This is my dream, this is what I'm doing. But later I think we must focus on your goal. If you play your heartedly, hard work, nobody can stop you. Success bound to come. After 1 year of my career, I got selected in the strategy meet. I selected amongst 2,000 employees of the organization. I represent my team. That's a proud moment for me. First time I traveled by flight at the age of 25. 25 till remember. That day actually I'm literally so excited. I literally crying on that day because I selected in such an environment. I beat almost 2,000 employees to be the part of the strategy meet. Then I never look backward. I always try to come back in a forward move. Next, Global received in the next year only. I received Global Recognition Award. Among 3,000 employees, I am the 20th employee in the entire organization who got that award. It gives me immense pleasure how success looks like. Once again, I got awarded for the global. So consecutive 4 years, I got top performer in the country. So that purpose, actually, I traveled a lot of countries. I almost traveled 12 countries. Nowadays, I'm traveling by air, by flight, almost every week. But trust me, friends, why I'm sharing this information with all of you? Is it any sense? Trust me, friend, why I am sharing with all of you? Because such an ordinary person can achieve this level of success. Imagine what kind of talented people you are sitting over there. What kind of talented you are. What you can achieve in your life. Just trust yourself. Follow your dream. Your dream. You just follow your dream. But one thing you should remember in your lifetime. If you fall down, just try to fall, rise up, and stay strong. I believe in one thing. In your entire life, you should be a lifelong student. Stay hungry, stay foolish. You should have big dream, big believe in yourself. Then nobody can stop you. It'll be whatever dream you have, you can chase it, you can achieve it. And I'm sure with the help of all of you, down the line of 5 years, I'm also achieving my dream as a MD or maybe the country head of any organization. And that you all people are helping me because it's all about we all are united and collaboratively we can achieve anything. Over to you.
Wow. Such energy. Mrinal, what have you been drinking? And I want to drink the same thing there. And your goals to 2028, how you see foresee the future, an MD of a company, you will certainly make it because you are in leadership speak. And this is where we learn how to be extraordinary. Congratulations on a great, wonderful, energetic speech. Our next speaker is going to be Sandra Valks, all the way from Belleville, which is 200 miles from where I am. Of course, Mrinal, by the way, is in Kolkata, which is like, I don't know, thousands of miles from where I am in India. Sandra Valks, evaluator today is Ram Lakhanpal. Hello, Ram.
Very good. Thank you very much, Mr. Toastmaster. Mr. Toastmaster and his wonderful team, Toastmaster Sandra will be speaking from the presentation mastery path. Level 2, speech number 1, effective body language. The speaker is to choose a topic which lends itself to expression through movements and gestures. And she is to choose a topic that lends itself to expression through movements and gestures. Deliver a speech containing practiced and refined non-verbal communication. Mr. Toastmaster, the virtual lantern, back to you.
Thank you very much. Do you see this lady that I just spotlighted here? She says United. You get the hint, right? Thank you very much.
Yes.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is for all the members here and the guests. If they speak, use the word of the day if you can in your speaking. Our next speaker, Sandra Valks, is our energized, compassionate queen of straight talk who is planning to display how body language adds so much additional impact to our messages. With regards to collaboration, she says, no man or woman is an island. With today's speech, Sandra is going to complete level 2 of presentation mastery. Ladies and gentlemen, Sandra Valks, journey of a lifetime, Sandra Valks.
Nine months later, Rozy in there. See in there. Oh gosh. What do I do out here? This is scary. I want to go back in. Well, I looked from these little eyes and I could see big people. Stop that. You be quiet. What do you do with that? What do you do with that? What do you do with that? Well, what I did, and you might have done the same thing, was that I started to say, I better not do that anymore. But I'm hungry. They're changing my diaper. Hungry. Pretty soon, I had wrapped myself up into something else. I didn't like it that people were angry with me or coochie-cooing me and never letting me know, what am I supposed to be doing here? What am I supposed to be doing here? So pretty soon, I cover up my own heart and I start doing what I think they want. I'm never sure what that is, so I get disciplined, I get spoken to. Oh, sometimes I get applauded. And so I dance, and I became a people pleaser, because I like this part rather than what are you doing? Have you been there? Have you been a people pleaser? Well, you know what happened? I became hyper vigilant. There had to be a concern everywhere. So pretty soon there were the eggshells in my stomach and my feet. And what was I going to do? And I got to do something. But, you know, I kind of like the stage too. Did you know that? I kind of like the stage. So this hyperachiever came out in me. But I couldn't quite be free and be me because I still had to worry about whether I was going to get my knuckles cracked. And even today I get my knuckles cracked, but you know what? That's okay. That's your story and I've got my story and everybody's got their own story. So I found this freedom. And even today, when I get that first reaction, there's that little one hiding in behind. Or there's that one, no man is an island. We are united. That'll make Brahm happy. So I go from this little people pleaser, this hyper vigilant, to this high achiever, all blended together. Now, what do you do with that? What do you do with that? Well, let me tell you a story about the onion. How many people know about the onion? Do you know an onion? I know it's all over the world, but I think all over the world we have onions. My Ethiopian family buys them by the big bag. They like onions. But the onion, have you ever cut the top off and the root off? And then you peel off that little thin brown coating. That's your first step. After I got to be an adult and I look back at it, why am I walking on these eggshells? Why am I worried about what everybody thinks? Because it's been so deeply wrapped around me, like it deeply wrapped. So I take off that little brown peel onion cover. And I think, oh, that's kind of nice. And this workaholic, I was like Banasree, you know, I got broken. I was there and my hands were empty. And when my hands were empty, I could do something about it. So I took off that little outside covering of the onion. A chance. Ooh. And then I started with the next layer and I pulled that off. And the next layer and the next layer and the next layer. Because in our life, we have so many layers we've piled on that the only way to reverse it is to take them off where it is safe and appropriate. I have given up chasing certificates. How much do you want to achieve? Well, whatever brings me joy, that's what I want to bring. Do I like doing it? Yeah, I'm in 110%. Is it bringing my joy? I'm there. If it doesn't feel like I want to do it, I have now got the courage to say, just not my thing. Now, you might want to try that if you want some ideas, but no, I'm not going to step into that piece of it. So I can love them, I can bless them, I can let it go. Am I still a hyperachiever? Oh, yes. But how do I decide where I want to achieve? Am I happy? And I got to be able to sorry, I can't spit that word out. I got to be able to claim the straight talk, which was always mine. People like me or they don't like me. There's not too much gray area. Yeah, I've gotten rid of some of the gray area. There's not too much gray area. You like me or you don't like me because of my straight talk. But my freedom, my peeling away has uncovered that that's who I am. I can accept myself. I had to learn to add the compassion. So now I'm the compassionate straight talk. And I am a queen with that. I love being me. So what are you going to do about yourself? How are you going to take all those layers? The first one's really thick. Those childhood ones were really, really, really thick. And there was a series of them, kind of the main ones. Mine was people pleaser, then vigilant, and then hyperachiever. And I had those thick ones to pull away. But as you pull away and you pull away and you pull away, you find you. When are you going to peel it back and find you? That is the journey of a lifetime. Start your journey of your lifetime. Find freedom, be you. Postmaster.
Thank you, Sandra. We are all onions, I think, and we have to peel away those layers to find who we really are authentically underneath those layers. Thank you very much. Our next speaker, Baron Ochola. Thank you for stepping in at the last moment to take on this. You just had a few hours of preparation. Our member who was originally going to speak had an emergency to attend to, which is understandable that sometimes we do get that. His evaluator is my dear friend, Bindu Joseph, all the way from India. Bindu.
Thank you, Brahm. Thank you, Mr. Toastmaster. Dear friends, fellow guests, and fellow Toastmasters, you are going to have the privilege of hearing another icebreaker, another special introduction into who the speaker Baron is, what he's about. And this is from the dynamic leadership pathway. It is level 1 in the first speech. For all of you who would like to give constructive feedback to Baron, he would like you to focus on his storytelling skills. As per the current pathways, allows a 5 to 7 minute speech for an icebreaker. Back to you, Mr. Toastmaster.
Thank you very much, Bindu, ladies and gentlemen. Baron, all the way from Uganda. Baron is standing at a fork in the road. And a fork in the road that was unimaginable last year at this very time. And today he's standing at that fork. Hence the title of his speech. Baron Ochola, where do we go from here? Where do we go from here? Baron Ochola.
It is arguably impossible for you to be a Toastmaster and not experience personal transformation. Can we agree on that? Put something in the chat, send a reaction. Can you agree on that? It is arguably impossible for you to be a Toastmaster and not go through personal transformation. Well, unless you decide to take the fact that Toastmasters is a self-paced program to mean that there's no rush. That could be what that means. This is what it was for me. Not more than a year ago, I was looking at Toastmasters and saying, how can I be able to join Toastmasters, especially on a student's salary, which in my part of the world means nothing, right? So I was a Gavo Club member, and being a Gavo Club member gave me an open door to attend as many Toastmasters meetings as possible. After that, I had a meeting with myself and we came to an agreement. The members in Toastmasters get value from being members of Toastmasters. In fact, I agreed with myself that investing in being a Toastmaster was invaluable. But I still could not. I scratched my head, I tossed and turned, but couldn't figure it out. This is what happened. One of the clubs in Uganda decided to take me on as an intern because I had been extremely active in Toastmasters, despite being a Gavelia. Now, what happens next is the best part. Like I earlier said, it was not less than more than a year ago. I have been in Toastmasters for only 10 months. In those 10 months, I have played just about every meeting role in Toastmasters. I have participated in organizing contests, but more than that, I have participated in club contests, area contests, division contests, and just last weekend in Dar es Salaam, participated in the District 114 evaluation speech contest, where I did not win, but that's another story. But that is all in the span of 9 months. So what have I learned in those 9 months? I have learned how to be confident, which is what I noticed Toastmasters getting from their meetings. I've learned how to give and receive feedback. I have learned how to network with like-minded high achievers like DTM, Brahm, like Toastmasters, Sandra, so many. In fact, my contacts are all Toastmasters. I might as well get a phone dedicated to Toastmasters. That is how far I have come with it. And now I realize that after 9 months, what I was scratching my head over is no longer my reality. Now, my reality is the fact that I can no longer say I'm an underdog, because I have performed on the biggest stages. I can no longer say I am not empowered. I mean, look at all the Toastmasters I am meeting. I can no longer say I don't have the opportunities unless I have chosen to ignore them. What comes next? That's where the $1 million question comes in from. Where do we go from here? Now, Toastmasters and guests, remember, I am still a student with the student salary. But the difference is when I walk into the room, do you know what my name is? My name is not Baron. My name is Toastmaster Baron. What does that mean? What that means is I am in a position where I am spoiled for choice. But what happens to all these options that have now landed in my arms? Toastmaster Brahm tells me, can you take this speech up in a few hours? Yes, of course, I am a Toastmaster. We don't say no to speeches. And as Toastmasters, we are usually united. When one Toastmaster asks you to take up a role, unless it is impossible for you to do it, it is your duty to be of service to that. My question to myself that I need to sit down and have a meeting about, and as well present to you Toastmasters, who can help and guide me, is what happens next? Where do we go from here? I go to meetings and Toastmasters tell me, I wish I knew about Toastmasters at your age. So imagine I know what you know at your age, but I am my age, still unsure. The question is, where do we go from here? So to sum it up, if you have the answers, I am in the Leadership Speak group. Reach out to me and help me with some answers. Back to you, Toastmaster of the day.
Oh my goodness. Wow. Simply incredible, Baron. Thank you very much for that wonderful speech. Toastmaster Baron, of course. You are Toastmaster Baron, and does Toastmaster transform you? Absolutely does. For those of you who didn't know, Baron was representing his division at the district evaluation contest in Dar es Salaam this past weekend. Thank you so much. Our last speaker today is Leya Musunga, all the way from Botswana. And her evaluator is all the way from Nairobi, Kenya, Rozy Rana. Rozy.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Yes, thank you. Go ahead.
Thank you very much, Mr. Toastmaster. Leya today is presenting from the strategic relationships path. It is the new version, and it is a level 1 speech, which requires her to speak with a purpose, a well-defined purpose on a narrow enough topic. She has 5 to 7 minutes, and I'm looking forward to Leya's speech. Over to you, Leya.
Thank you very much. Leya has truly learned the importance of teamwork and how it can help her move forward in her life. And of course, she's one member who is a collaborative member because she was just voted in as a division director in District 74, and she lives in Botswana. Congratulations on that. Leya Musunga, 3 questions. 3 questions, Leya Musunga.
Brown once said, you can choose courage or you can choose comfort. You can't have both. Good day, fellow Toastmasters and guests. One day, I received a call. Hello? Yes, my name is Leya. You want me to organize what? All right, I'll see what I can do. I had received a call from one of the organizers of the Miss Botswana pageant. It was on Monday morning, and that person had called asking if I, as part of Toastmasters Botswana, could help to organize a workshop for the top 30 contestants. My first reaction was, short notice. It's Monday and you want to have the event on Friday. I had not ever done anything like that before. So I sat down and I thought to myself, would this be possible? There were 3 questions that I asked myself. Question number 1, can I do this? One thing that I have learned about life is that life is about choices. I can choose to wake up in the morning and exercise, or I can choose to sleep. I can choose to eat healthy, or I can have burgers and fries for lunch. And at this moment, I could choose to help to ensure that the Miss Botswana pageant had a workshop on that Friday. My second question was, do I have to be an expert at this? I joined Toastmasters just around the time COVID hit. I only presented 2 speeches in person and had spent the rest of my Toastmasters journey on the screen. And the workshop was going to be in person. It was going to be my first time having to present to so many people. I therefore contacted our previous club president to try and get more information about what we as Toastmasters could be able to present and what also would be entailed. Our previous president gave me so much information and even guided me to other previously experienced Toastmasters. At that point, I knew definitely I didn't have to be the expert. I could find other people who I could bring along to help us to ensure that indeed we had a successful workshop. I was therefore able to organize other Toastmasters from our city in Gaborone who were glad to join along, even though indeed it was short notice, and they were happy to come along. During that week, we prepared on exactly what we were going to present. And it was at that moment I saw the words that George Maxwell says, teamwork makes the dream work. I could see us all coming together to ensure that we'd have a successful workshop on the Friday. We even had a meeting where we just sat down and talked about the entire agenda and how everything was going to progress. The third question that I had asked myself at the beginning was, is this a learning opportunity? When I joined Toastmasters, I wanted to work on my public speaking. And along the way, I realized there's so much more that I could learn. Being able to interact with other Toastmasters, even on an online presence, helped me to learn so much more about public speaking and networking with other people. And I knew, even though it was such a short notice, that this would be an opportunity for me to be able to learn how quickly I could help to bring a group of people together. These are the 3 questions that I went to when I was trying to decide whether we'll be able to have the workshop successfully. And they helped me to ensure that indeed, eventually when we did hold the workshop, that it was successful. I could see just how united we were as a team when eventually we did the presentation. One thing I've come to realize is that we all have choices. Like I said, these are the 3 questions I went through. Can I do this? Do I have to be the expert at this? Is this a learning opportunity? What about you? What goal do you have that you want to achieve? Is there some project you have been dreading to do and putting it on the back burner? Is there some other item that you feel you need to be able to be doing right now? Maybe these 3 questions can be able to help you to move along and take that step. So what are you waiting for? Back to you, Mr. Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you, Leah. Loved it. From whether is it going to be courage or comfort? Very well done. Ladies and gentlemen, that brings to the end our speaking part of the meeting, and we will move into the evaluation section very shortly. I'll ask the timer to put the timing report in the chat, so it'll appear in the chat, ladies and gentlemen. And while she's doing the timing report in the chat, may I ask the Zoom master to launch the poll for speaker? Please launch the poll. Thank you. And while the poll is being launched, ladies and gentlemen, I will now pass this on to your eminent general evaluator of the day, and my very, very good friend who I've known for 3 years, and she's been with me in my previous club, My Speak Toastmasters Club, where we took the club from 2 members to number 4 globally in a year and a half. And now she's here with Leadership Speak, and we are taking this club to the stratosphere, as you can see. Ladies and gentlemen, please help me welcome. Has a poll been launched? Before I just welcome the general evaluator. Who is launching the poll is Marie, if you can launch the poll. And now gives me the great pleasure to introduce to you my great friend, general evaluator, distinguished Toastmaster, Hannah Schmidt.
Let me just finish the poll. Thank you very much, Mr. Toastmaster of the day. Let me just go back to my laptop here. Thank you very much for your introduction. The art of collaboration. Steve Jobs says, great things in businesses are never done by one person. They are done by a team. And the same statement applies to 100% to Toastmasters. Collaboration encourages more personal accountability and creates a stronger sense of belonging or loyalty to leadership speak. Toastmasters has even got a path called team collaboration. Let me call on my extremely collaborative team of evaluators. And the first one is Tony, and he will evaluate Paramjit. Over to you, Tony.
Okay. Thank you, General Evaluator, fellow Toastmasters, and especially you, Paramjit. Your collaborative leadership presentation was very relevant to the members of Leadership Speak, because after all, we consider ourselves to be self-directed leaders. And your message to me, and think for all of us, was how we can use our self-directed leadership in better influencing others towards collaborative leadership versus teamwork. And I think you did a lot of things really well to bring that point across. First one was excellent opening. I mean, you invited us to unmute ourselves and give our interpretation. And you know, I was the first one. So you know, I am sincere about that. And I'm sure, and there was others too that wanted as well. So really well done. It was masterful how you made that part of our being. So well done. Visual aids were superb. The PowerPoint, excellent. What I really liked as well was that video, how you showed us how collaboration is much better than chaos, because that was what I'm taking away from that video. And I will remember that, Paramjit. So that was very good. Now, your vocal variety, this is something that really amazed me. when you were talking, giving your speech, you were descriptive, very clear. Every word was enunciated properly, and it was very good. And then you did something that was subtly masterful. Then you went into like a self-commentary, such as in a conversational tone of voice, such as, but of course, you know, this could mean, or I feel. So it really enhanced the vocal variety. I don't recall seeing that before. So great. Your call to action had 5 practical steps for us to get right into the game of collaborative leadership. So that was excellent. Now, my recommendation, just me, okay? Powerful opening, because you know I said that. I loved it. And I know you were mindful of timing, so this is not a criticism, but practically a compliment. You wrapped up, but you didn't have enough time to wrap up the same ways you opened up. And I think we needed to have that expanded, but that's something for the future. But again, it's probably a compliment because of your control of the timing. What I really liked, Paramjit, was that you had personal stories about yourself and the lack of transparency when you first got into that job, and a personal story about the manager who had a 300% improvement in results because of his collaboration by opening the curtains and the doors. Really well done. Those personal stories grounded the foundation of your presentation. So this was a powerful message that was relevant to all of us, that gave us a call to action with practical steps supported by your personal stories. Paramjit, really well done. Thank you.
Thank you, Tony. Thank you, Tony. I forgot to introduce him. He's a past District 86 governor and a parliamentarian for Leadership, Speak Toastmasters, and was also a parliamentarian for District 123 in 22-23. Thank you very much. Your vocal variety was as excellent as that one of Paramjit's, but your hand gesture was a bit, erratic. We could only see part of your hand gestures. Thank you very much, and also for stressing self-directed leadership. Our next evaluator is Sudarshan. Wow, and he has already won quite a few accolades of evaluating. He will be evaluating Banasree. And Sudarshan says he is known for his engaging and interactive approach and is a sought-after speaker and mentor. Over to you, Sudarshan.
Attend leadership speak meeting, check. Listen to speech, check. Evaluate, check. Fellow Toastmasters and guests, that was what our speaker told us today. There are some people who live their life by a list, and then there are some that let life dictate the way they create their lists. Where we choose to be is a profound question that our speaker asked us today. And when she used those specific life-altering personal examples, it made it all the more relevant, all the more coherent, all the more believable. Therefore, the speech stood out both in its construct and its delivery. But the simplicity of the message was the overriding and the overarching factor which captured my attention as I was listening to our speaker. The speech was delivered with a lot of confidence. It was delivered with a lot of integrity, therefore made more relatable. This was a speech that took a very simple aspect of life, of creating lists, and converted it into how it could potentially be harmful and therefore needs to be controlled, as pretty much everything else should be. Now, if this speech was well constructed and well delivered, what could this speech have reached in terms of what are the opportunities? First and foremost, anybody that you ask, anyone that enters the kitchen will tell you that when you cook a dish, the garnishings are only supposed to be 10 to 15% of the whole dish. Today's speech was about 85% garnishing and 15% content. And that, to me, was an opportunity missed because there was ample scope for the concept of list making and how not to let lists rule our lives to be taken and delivered in a different manner. The amount of voice modulation used, the gestures used, and the fact that the speaker chose to depict something which was absolutely not in sync with the rest of the speech, which was the whole act of getting drenched in the rain, was something that probably could have been toned down to a greater extent and focused more on the actual content of the speech. Second was, when someone works notoriously, one tends to get fired, because notorious workers are workers who are slacking off. One works notoriously hard at their job. Similarly, when one works unearthly hours, one is probably working on Mars. We work ungodly hours or all hours of the day and not unearthly hours. So grammar at many an instance was slightly found wanting. And that was probably on account of the fact that there was a lot of other drama that was happening in the speech. All in all, as I conclude, I would like to say a very important concept, well delivered, but I would request the speaker to utilize the entire time and focus more on specificity of the content. Otherwise, the speech looks a little disunited. With that, I would like to thank you all for giving me the opportunity to be the evaluator. Back to you, Madam General Evaluator.
Thank you very much. As with all the speeches, the evaluators are also, the evaluations are also opened with an intro, a body, and a conclusion, something that Sudarshan has very well done. And the recommendations also. And Banasree was so concentrating so much that I'm sure she will heed all your recommendations. Our next evaluator, wow, is Dan. And he will be evaluating Mrinal. And Dan is a Toastmaster based in Kenya for the past 13 years and is an entrepreneur and is so passionate about offering exceptional service as a hotelier and life coaching. Over to you, Dan.
Thank you, Hannah. And wow, Mrinal, thank you for the privilege of sharing this story with us. Icebreakers are normally for new members to give, but I hear you've been a member of the club, so you're a new path. And each path offers you an opportunity to hone your skills of delivering a speech and forming new styles in there. You talked about, asked me to look out for your presence, your Zoom presence, and your voice modulation was nice, was good. Very well done. The energy that you started with got all of us great energy. And we could see as you simulated the role of the MD of your company, that was done extremely well. Capture the audience, just that, capture the audience. Great. Then you also had your great use of your gestures. You're standing, we could see you well. We could see you well, and you gave that on very well. Talking about your story also, some things about connecting with the audience, calling them friends, brings in the camaraderie of that, brings in the camaraderie. One thing about, as we speak, Toastmasters is an opportunity to build skills which you're going to use out in the real world. Now, you're not an MD, but the way you did it, unity is something called unity of life. Act as if you are, and I could see you as the leader and the MD of an organization, which is one of them. So you did that very well and brought out your vision, brought out some of the things that also the thing that you failed in, you got sick here. So we were empathetic. You actually bonded with the audience very well. You could see, this is where I've come from. This is what I've achieved. Talk about your achievements. Very nicely done. This was very well connected. Some of the things, an area that I would feel that you probably work on is pause a little bit. Some of these important points you bring, if you pause a bit, the points then sink in, and that now we now get and you ponder on some of the points you have. And then also you could challenge yourself, how do I bring in to my vision? How do I bring in the stuff to my vision? This is what I have the vision for. How do you fit into it? Call to action. What can we do together to take this thing forward? This is my vision, yes, but how are you part of it? But all in all, a fantastic delivered speech, great energy. I love the energy. In fact, even the Toastmaster said, wow, what were you having this morning? Great energy, very nicely done. Thank you for that, and thank you. And I look forward to listening to more of your speeches. Back to you, Madam General Evaluator. Thank you very much.
Dan, your vocal variety had as much energy in presenting your evaluation as Mrinal had, full of energy. Your hand gestures, your eye contact, all complemented your evaluation, and your recommendations were to the point as well. Now, our next speaker, wow, is Ram, and he is evaluating Sandra. Over to you, Ram, for Sandra's evaluation.
Madam GE, my evaluation, my opinion, united is the way. The title such as Journey of a Lifetime raises my eyebrows. Hopefully it did yours as well. My evaluation consists of the art of collaboration. The speaker and I spent some time by Zoom going over a few things here and there, ensuring that we were on the right track. And that was delivered. And that was of value, hopefully, to the speaker. We concluded, cut out the fluff, cut out the chase, get to the substance, get to the main protein. And that's what I'll try to do. Sandra, you're an actress, you're a singer. Energy today with a coffee. Is it McAfee or something else? I don't know. Voice modulation, wow. That is what's needed in a good speech. You need to modulate up and down and up, and changing a few things. That's really, really great. Facial expressions. Yes, that's what we need. That's the smile, that's the girl. And the other thing that I liked about is pitch. The pitch, I was hoping to look at pitch a little bit closer, but your pitches were right on. You were going up and down the middle and thing. And my minor tweaks that I would do to a wonderful speech that you delivered. Audio could have been tested at the beginning, only at the beginning. And then you caught up. I don't know, there were some glitches here and there. I'm not too sure what that was. But you are, from what I know about you, you are good in pauses, but something was missing for the pauses. Pause, girl. And that will bring it out a little bit more. Pause a little bit more. I am running to the fire and I was peeling the onions. And why was I peeling the onions? Then look around to see any reaction from people. And I think that was good. That's what you need to do. Your pace was perfect. Da, 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 da. And then you were going on, that's good. The pace is good. And as I said earlier, you injected the humor in there as well. In conclusion, Madam Toastmaster Sandra, you met your objectives. Great. That's what we need. And your humor was there, as I said. And the only thing that I would put is remind people about your conclusion. Wrap it up and put a red bow on top. And that will make it super duper speech. Thank you, Sandra, for your speech. Wonderful. Back to you, Madam Evaluator GE.
Thank you very much, Ram. As I said, also an introduction, a body, and a conclusion. Sandra, thank you very much, and Ram also thank you very much. Our fourth evaluator, who will be evaluating our icebreaker, Baran, and the evaluator is Bindu. And Bindu is a Toastmaster who considers evaluation a fine art that at times benefits the donor more than the recipient. Over to you, Bindu.
Thank you, Hannah. Baron, I don't like sandwiches, so you are not going to get a sandwich. I'm going to start with objectives. the Toastmasters project objectives, your personal objectives, and then what you have done that what we can always, what all of us can take back and maybe try to reproduce in our speeches. Lastly, a few hopefully helpful suggestions. Now, when you come about objectives, the first objective of your project is an introduction to yourself. I'm a person who adores creativity. So I absolutely loved your take of introducing us to your Toastmaster life. I mean, that is beautiful. Now, regarding your personal objectives of storytelling, the first objective of a storyteller is to connect with their audience. And you did it beautifully. There was no doubt about it. Engagement, of course. I mean, the theme, Toastmasters, your Toastmasters life, your journey, it's something that is relatable to all of us. But more importantly, it was your description of your roller coaster achievements as a Toastmasters over 10 months as a student. Wow. I mean, a lot of us just were awed. A few of us, like myself, are feeling a little embarrassed. Where am I compared to you? But in either way, the most important part, we were all emotionally engaged. Now, the best part of it is you delivered this with extreme comfort, with clarity, beautiful body language, but best of all, with that engaging smile. As far as content was concerned, very well structured. You first started out with where you were before Toastmasters, your journey as a Toastmasters, and where you hope to go. Now, my suggestions are going to be basically towards the conclusion. Towards the beginning of the conclusion, you started with a message saying that where you wanted to go was to help other Toastmasters reach where you are. I felt that was beautiful. Then, unfortunately, I think like a lot of speakers, you maybe took a little more effort in trying to integrate the theme collaboration into your conclusion. So that sort of muddied up your message a bit. And the next few sentences were, of course, beautiful. I mean, how to collaborate, but did they really match to your main message, to a very beautiful main message? And then your last sentence, genius, master stroke. You put it to the audience to tell you, to give their suggestions. How do you go from there? Unfortunately, I think that also was a little bit of a mismatch. But Baron, I hope that you act on your first message and help me as a Toastmasters reach somewhere where you are now. Back to you, Hannah.
Thank you very much, Bindu. Yes, Toastmasters usually they have the sandwich evaluation, but you had the objectives, a different way of evaluation with comfort, clarity, and creativity. And thank you very much for that. Now, our last evaluator, wow, is Rozy, and she will be evaluating Leya. And Rozy is a Toastmaster for 18 years, based in Kenya. So it's really African. You, and Leya, we are all from Africa. Good for you. Over to you. She's a double DTM in the legacy and in the pathways. Over to you, Rozy.
Thank you very much, Madam General Evaluator and fellow Toastmasters, especially Leya. What a beautiful speech. Together, we achieve more. And today you truly showed us how, with teamwork, you were able to overcome. You had a beautiful and compelling opening. I love that you started with a quote, which really, showed us you can either have courage or comfort. And you went on. So you set the pace. You captivated us and you set the pace for what was coming as you shared a story about a project that you undertook which needed courage. So congratulations for overcoming any sense of comfort and, going past it and taking courage to stand. Superb. Now, today, your objectives were to come up with some specific, like to speak on specific purpose. So there are 4 general purposes any speech can have: to inform, to inspire, to persuade, or to entertain. And I would like to believe you took the informative route. There was a fine line, and I'll come to that in a minute, but I felt your speech was to inform, and I thought you achieved remarkably well the purpose of sharing how you used 3 questions in your informative speech to decide whether to, take on a project and how you then executed that project. So you achieved that extremely well. And the 3 questions were, do I have to be expert? And is this a learning opportunity? So in many ways, you provoked us. And this is why I said there was a fine line. It could have been a persuasive speech, but for me, this was informative, and I'll tell you why. So, and I come to that because one of your key objectives, as you shared with me, was wanting to have audience engagement. You're an excellent speaker. Your command of the English language is very good. Your pacing is beautiful. So it's very easy to hear word by word of what you say, and it's very easy to understand you. Your style, by using the 3 questions, helped us know what is coming next. So that was really, really good. Now, you wanted to have audience engagement, and this speech had so many opportunities right from the beginning. Rather than give us a quote, or straight after giving us a quote, because you were going to speak about a project, you could have asked us something about, how many of you have a project that you want to do but are afraid of doing? Now, had you started this way, you would have built toward, you would have got your audience engagement objective met, but B, it would have been more persuasive. And therefore, at the end, when you have closed up with inviting us and telling us and questioning us about our choices, you would have achieved the purpose of it being a persuasive speech. But all in all, you achieved that objective. Fantastic delivery, loved the structure. So just move to persuasion and you will be very powerful and compelling. Well done, Leya. Enjoyed it. Thank you. Over to you all. Back to you, Madam General Evaluator.
What must I say from a double Toastmaster, Rozy? An excellent evaluation. A very distinct evaluation from a double Toastmaster. And Leya's smile showed that she will adhere to it. Be persuasive. Thank you very much for my collaborative team. And now I shall give my general evaluation of the whole meeting. The opening, or
Madam G, the grammarian report.
Oh, sorry. My apologies. Grammarian.
Yeah, we have to look at our list.
Yes. Angela, would you kindly give us your grammarian report?
The word of the day, united, was used 6 times. Brahm used it 3 times. 4 times. Rozy 1 time, and Rana 1 time. There were a lot of metaphors that were used in this the speeches. One with the drunken dragon on legs of mosquitoes by Banasree. If you fall down, rise up by Mrinal. That's a good thing that we need to know for life. I'd never heard of that before, but the feeling of layers, feeling like layers, and find yourself. You could be a people pleaser. You could be hyper vigilant. That's something that we all should do. Take a look at ourselves. Walking on eggshells. I did hear before. And for those who haven't, it's be careful not to speak or offend someone. A fork in the road. I didn't hear that before. A Brahm, a deciding moment in life or history when a choice between present option is required. Baron said the $1 million question, which is a very important and more difficult to answer. Teamwork makes the dream work by John Maxwell was used by Leya. And this means you can only achieve your dreams by working in a team. Totally agree with that. Collaboration is better than chaos, was said by Tony. And Brahm said, wrap it up and put a big red bow on top for your speech. And I love that. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much. United, we stand to make this club and collaborate to make this Leadership Speak Club a big club. And I see the timers report is in the chat box. Are they both there? I haven't checked the chat box. Are they both there for the speakers and the evaluators? And please, the SAA launched the poll for the best evaluator. And while that is being done, I shall present my general evaluators report. Can we launch the poll for the best evaluator, please? Thank you very much. For a meeting to run smoothly, it is imperative that all role players attend the training session presented by Asif, our incoming president, on Thursdays. And thank you very much, Paramjit and Brahm, for assisting with the SAA Sergeant at Arms role. Baron, your toast was in line with our theme and very well presented. Thank you very much. Our timer, Karim, thank you very much for reading my message in the chat box to keep your hand raised at all the times. This raised hand is for all the speakers, evaluators, to immediately find the timer during their speeches. Our grammarian, Angela, as I said beforehand, united we stand and collaborate in making Leadership Speak a great club. Our Toastmaster, Brahm. This may sound like a cliche, but I must compliment you on running this meeting as smooth as a Swiss watch. Thank you very much, and you have done an excellent job on that. We'll communicate later. Overall, we did well. Thank you for that. We started on time, and thank you very much for testing your PowerPoint presentations before the meeting started. Very important. Otherwise, it just stops the time and shortens the speaking time, and we run over time. What we can improve on, I have a very friendly request to every member attending to please switch off the videos when eating. And another friendly request I have is for all our members to sign in on Easy Speak. That is marking your attendance and accepting your roles and sending your introduction timeously to your Toastmaster of the day and to your evaluator. A big thank you, really a big thank you, goes to Asif, who grants us the opportunity to practice our roles and to present our speeches on a Thursday afternoon, for us on the afternoon. Here we can also chat with our PowerPoint presentations. Our screen sharing works 100%. And these meetings are so helpful. And I request you to, all of us, to grab it with both hands. And I see the poll has been launched, and we'll hear the results just now, or you can see them. And now I hand over the virtual stage to our President, Brahm. Over to you.
Thank you, Madam General Evaluator. Hannah, thank you for that evaluation about how I handled it like a Swiss watch. Oh my goodness. I have to look at my list better next time, actually, besides the Swiss watch accuracy. Ladies and gentlemen, today we have two winners. Of course, we always have two winners for speech and for evaluation. And our winner at the evaluation contest, evaluation, our best evaluator, best effort evaluator today was, that's the best speaker. All right. Our best speaker today is Baron Ochola. Congratulations, Baron. Yay. Awesome. And our best evaluator today is Rozy Rana. Congratulations, Rozy.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. This meeting has been all about collaboration and how collaboration works. The art of collaboration was present in the meeting. Collaboration happens in leadership speak 2 weeks before the meeting starts, when the Toastmaster of the day starts to collaborate with their team. I became a Toastmaster of the day at the last minute. Now, when I said last minute in leadership speak, last minute being a Toastmaster of the day means about a week ago. That's because usually it's 2 weeks before that the content is written, the Toastmaster of the day sets the pace and the theme and everything. But the Toastmaster of the day at that time realized that they had to be somewhere else. And so they wanted to be somewhere else. And so I took over the job on Sunday of this current week. Our collaboration is present. As you can all see, we are collaborating very well in this club, and we did a great job. We had a few technical hitches at the beginning, of course, with spotlighting the speakers and so on. And that's always the case when we are working with technology and people and the speed at which we can do things. But thank you so much, everyone, for being here. I now close this meeting of the art of collaboration. This meeting is currently adjourned, but I would like to speak to our guests.